All right. Hey, friends. So I wanted to talk real quick about why what we're covering in Thriving Through Menopause works. So I want to start here with hormone replacement therapy and weight. So, we all discussed, like hormone replacement therapy is the go-to because it's what's available in our doctor's office. It's the thing that we all know about, and it's kind of, our approach to healthcare is looking for the magic pill that's going to address our symptoms, right? But hormone replacement therapy is exactly that. It's just addressing your symptoms, and it is not a magic pill. It is a tool in the toolbox that we have. And I think of this as like you go to hang a picture and you go in to your toolbox, and all you have is a hammer. You don't have any nails, you don't have any picture hangers, you don't have anything except a hammer. And that's just not enough. And so that's kind of what we're talking about here. Like you need all of the other pieces that go along with hanging that picture. A lot of us are concerned or struggling with weight gain. And the thing about hormone replacement therapy is it's probably not going to help you lose weight. There are some circumstances where it will, just depending on what's going on with your hormones. But if you go back and watch the weight gain during menopause workshop, there's a lot of stuff going on in our body. Like I've said, nothing in our body happens in a vacuum. And so, we're looking to hormone replacement therapy to fix all of our problems. It's generally not going to happen. So it can be really hard to find that right cocktail, especially if your doctor is not well versed in hormone replacement therapy. Maybe they just know like kind of the basics. They're not running the right tests. I've talked to women who their doctors didn't run any tests. They just gave them an estrogen patch, and it really, really got some problems. And so, like I said, when we're talking about hormone replacement therapy, it's really just not the magic pill that we have been led to believe it is. And so, all that to say that a lot of what we're experiencing during menopause, while it can be helped by hormone replacement therapy, a lot of it is related to diet and lifestyle. And you have to remember too, like the world we're living in is not the world our grandparents were living in, even our parents were living in, as far as the amount of pollution, the amount of toxins in our food and in the environment. And so we are really kind of been set up for failure in a lot of ways if we're not being very proactive in and taking charge and making sure we're making the right changes. And so all of that to say, everything we're talking about, for the most part, especially when we talk about the aging process post-menopause, is all related to lifestyle. And that's awesome because that means we are in the driver's seat and we are in charge. And so this is why all of this works. This is why Thriving Through Menopause works. It's because we're talking about nutrition. As I've said many times, and I will continue to repeat myself, that we have got to adapt as we go through menopause. Like y'all, we are not 20 anymore, and we have to treat ourselves accordingly by changing our nutrition, by making sure we're moving, by making sure that we're allowing our liver to detox every day. And I'm going to pause here for just a second and make sure that I focus in on here, y'all. We have got to be pooping every day. If you're not an everyday pooper, you have a problem. It means you're not eating enough fiber, you're not drinking enough water, and things are getting built up in there, and they are impacting your menopause symptoms. And managing our stress. We live in a very stressful society. We live in we all lead very stressful lives. And, the thing is, I want you to take away from this, we have control here. We are in the driver's seat. We just have to learn those skills. We have to adapt as we're going through this phase of life to make sure that we're caring for ourselves. I want to reiterate this too. I have been there. I was there in my 30s with the Mirena IUD where I gained 30 pounds. My hormones were so wacky, I was considering suicide. And I got into perimenopause and was like, I do not want to do that again. And I don't want anybody to ever have to experience that. I will get up on my soapbox about it anytime, because I didn't understand at the time, when this was going on, that it was my hormones until it was almost too late. And that's really what we're going through as we're going through menopause. And so I want you to know too, I got myself through that by making lifestyle changes, by making sure I was taking care of myself. And I'm teaching here a lot of the stuff that I did at that phase of my life, and that I've been doing for the past, 10, 12 years to make sure that I stay healthy. And I want to remind you too about Susie. She weighed 185 pounds. She was a few years post-menopause. She had a laundry list of health issues. She made these changes, and this is her today. As I'm recording this, I think this was like last week that she took this picture of herself, and I mean, she looks like a different person, and she has got this permanent smile on her face because she feels amazing. And Susie's, she's retired, like she's in her 60s. So she made these changes and was able to lose weight and able to be healthier even after going through menopause. And then here's Leanne. Leanne up there at the top. She is in her mid 40s here. She's about my age. And she was perimenopausal. She had watched her mom die from osteoporosis, complications from osteoporosis. It is the saddest story to see and hear her tell it because they were so close. But she was like, I'm not going out like that. And she made changes. And again, she is in her 60s. She is one of the healthiest people I have ever met in my life. And it's because she made these changes. She breezed through menopause. She made these changes just in time. She didn't know it, but she made these changes just in time to help her through menopause. And the only thing she said, she's like, I had an occasional like hot flash, but she used some of the supplements we're talking about in thriving through menopause. And she's like, once I did that, I was fine and I didn't even notice it. And like, that is a dream. And then lastly, Dr. Clarissa Hall. So she also follows these guidelines that we're talking about in Thriving Through Menopause. She is also perimenopausal, and she is a pharmacist and certified hormone specialist. She does compound pharmacy services for women like us. I'm actually going to have her come in and talk to us as we're going through the course and the coaching program. And she said to me, so I was like, what has been your experience with this? And she said, I can tell when my clients are not following these guidelines, when they're not taking their supplements and when they're not doing what they're supposed to do, even if they're doing their hormone replacement therapy, she's like, making these changes too is what makes the difference. Hormone replacement therapy, again, is just a tool, and she will be the first person to tell you that. And so with that, I want y'all to click that button, enroll, join me. We are starting January 22nd, but I'm going to have some awesome stuff coming up between now and then to kind of help you get prepped and get ready to go so that we can hit it hard in January and have y'all just feeling amazing by the end of March.